Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Brummets YouTube channel. It's great to have you here today. You know, I'm often asked to share business tips, especially here on the YouTube channel, and I think that's fantastic. For one thing, your guys' questions and suggestions are fantastic, and thank you very much for all of that, honestly. By the way, before I forget, there's a little like rainbow sunset image there in the corner. If you have your mouse on that, you can subscribe to my channel. And of course, that does make a difference to our to everything, to our channel, to the analytics, to everything. So please do consider doing that. Liking and sharing also plays a role in that, by the way. Now, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about making choices in your business. And this is something, we all struggle with. So as an entrepreneur, for one thing, we're often putting in longer days than we did when we were working for the man, right? It's not no 8-hour day with a half-hour commute. We're talking now like 10-hour days, maybe longer, maybe 7 days a week sometimes, because there's no one else but us to do it. And unless we have a large budget to work with, we're not going to be outsourcing too much. So there's a few things that we can do in that regards. We can look at places like Fiverr.com, which most people know about. There's quite a few other outsourcing places where you can connect with people who are looking to build their full portfolio, like college classes and universities and places like that often have projects where, say a graphics class is graduating, but the student wants to have a project to work on for their final project and those types of things. So you can really, get creative with your budget in that regards. You can also hire students, especially if there's like budget government sponsorship programs out there for supplementing the wages. That's also something else that you can look at for hiring students and youth during the off-school seasons. That's also a choice that you can have. Maybe you can outsource by like delegating to your family and friends, getting them to help you out, or trading. I'll babysit for you if you do this for me. I'll make you some lasagna if you do that for me. There's things that we can do to collaborate and sort of barter and extend our budgets. But there are going to be times when we have to make that choice. I have so many hours today. I have 15,001 things that need my attention. I'm going to be lucky if I can get one done today. So which one is it going to be? So we have to actually make that choice. What's the best return on our investment? Is probably going to be one of the greatest choices, one of the top rating deciding factors, right? But also we're going to be looking at timeline. How long is this going to take? Can I fit it in today? Also, we're going to be looking at, is it a priority in regards to deadline? The project is due next week, next Tuesday. If I get it done now, it won't be weighing on my shoulders about this upcoming deadline, and I can focus on these other projects without being distracted by this impending deadline on the back of my head, right? So these are all things that we can look at as a business. What are we going to prioritize? Now, when we choose something, we say, okay, I'm putting my attention on that thing there, and I've made that decision for these reasons. So there's legitimate reasons for making that choice. It's a good choice. You're committed to do it. You've opened your schedule. You're sitting down. You're going to do it. But in doing so, now you've let other things go. And that can be really, really frustrating to do. You might have 5 things unfinished, partially done, just about done, but you're waiting for something and you have to set it aside because, while you're waiting for this thing to come in, you've got this gap in your schedule. So you're going to fill it with this other project. But in the meantime, this other project is unfinished. It's sitting there on the back of your mind and on your schedule until that one thing or those, various submissions or whatever it is that you're expecting to come in, and then you can finish that that's off your shoulders, and then you carry on with what's on your plate. So, there's a lot of weight on your mind. Sometimes you have sleepless nights. And sometimes we're very sensitive to this as an individual, someone who really cares about our business. And it's really hard sometimes to let things go that we're really passionate about or really enjoying doing, perhaps, but it's not the thing that really needs our attention right now. So we have to put it aside and go back to it another time. All those things can be frustrating. Maybe we have a project that's like going to involve a lot of time. And so we have to do it in segments and fit it in between things. So we do this part of it, take a break from it, concentrate on these other things, get that all lined up, get a little bit of room in our schedule so that we can focus back on that project again and get it to a certain point. And then we have to play catch up again in the office and make room in our schedule, do it all over again until that project is done. It can be a lot of juggling, a lot of multitasking. There's a lot of choices, prioritizing what is most important to do. And like I say, the two most deciding factors I have for that is if there is a deadline and what's the return on investment and is it doable today? So I guess that's three things. If it's doable today, it's most likely going to get done. For instance, if I come into the office and I know that I'm going to be working on a particular project and I'm dedicated in my mind, I'm going to do that. But I always glance at my email several times a day, usually during breaks or breakfast and coffee breaks and lunch breaks and stuff. And I'll glance through my emails and see, how are things coming along in that regard. And if there's a communication that I can deal with right then and there, I'm going to do that just so that it's dealt with, taken off my schedule. They're happy, I'm happy, everything's taken. I don't have to think about it, don't have to go back to it. And then I can concentrate on what my project was originally. So there's a little bit of that going back and forth as well. I'm sure that you all experience that as well, being, self-employed entrepreneurs. But I thought I would just raise the topic up that this is a reality in your business, that you are going to, no matter what your plan is, your action plan, your thought for the day, it can get totally interrupted in the middle of everything because something else comes up as a priority, and off you go taking care of that. And maybe you're having to spend a long time on that project before you can get back to what you're doing before. And it can seem sometimes when you're looking at like your action plan, you think, geez, I really thought I'd be so much farther ahead with my action plan by now. But then you have to sort of, I guess, give yourself a break as a human being, allow yourself to be a human being and realize, while you didn't reach that goal in that time frame, it's not like you've given up on that goal. You're still working on it. You just got interrupted for a short time period because some things took precedence and you had to set it aside for a temporary time period. And I think having that mindset, as opposed to, oh, there's so many things to do, and getting all upset and worked up about it and all of that, because we can be in both mindsets. It's sort of a choice. How are we going to look at it? Our emotional response to the weight of being an entrepreneur. So I thought I would just touch on that today and see what you all thought about that topic. Feel free to reach out to me and leave a comment or reach out to me directly via social networking message centers, or also reach out to me via our website. brummettmedia.ca has our contact information there as well. I look forward to hearing from you on this.